Assetto Corsa Rally 0.4 has some interesting updates coming about. The content pieces are probably what are going to captivate you into the game, at least putting your eyes into it. But there's more to that. But before going there, big thank you to all the viewers, members, and subscribers. We're hitting 100,000 subscribers, and if you press like and subscribe, that would be appreciated. Thank you so much. Also have a look at Coach Dave Delta, the channel sponsor. So this update brings a few things. Of course, the big piece of the content will be the things you're looking at first. That will be the Impreza S3, the same one that Colin McRae used to drive, and also the 306 Maxi kit car. And this car is absolutely bonkers. But on the background of all of it, there are two interesting changes that are kind of meaningful. The first one is a change of tire and suspension modeling. Apparently makes it a little bit better. In my opinion, actually makes it. But also the addition of True Force and Full Force. While not being totally transformative, for those of you who have Logitech and Fanatec wheelbases, you'll feel a little more detail in between sections when you have trying to figure out where the grip is. We're gonna start with the Subaru Impreza. There's so much to talk about in this update, even though it's not that big. The Subaru Impreza is a wonderful, legendary car in all of Rally. I won't be able to give justice to its name while driving it. You know, names associated with this car. You have Carlos Sainz and, of course, Colin McRae. Every time you saw that blue car with Colin McRae driving the car, you would know you're going to have a good time and essentially watch how a master of its craft would be driving this. It's really good that they are getting these cars, and honestly, this generation of Rally was, in my opinion, much more interesting than the one that we have now, because nowadays, you know, there's nothing wrong with them. I think cars like the i20 and the Yaris, and I do love the Yaris GR, would have one of those easy. These cars were more interesting because there is something more interesting seeing a car of this size, which is essentially a family car, and that thing also includes the Lancer and the Corolla back in the day. They are more interesting to see around and drive around, honestly, because this car feels that it has some momentum in it. It doesn't feel like as sticky as the Super Minis. Then driving those, you know, souped up Super Minis that we see now in modern Rally. You do you. I prefer the vintage stuff in rallying. I think these cars, this generation of cars, even though they were smaller than cars nowadays of the same class, they were still quite big compared to the other cars that we see nowadays. This car drives with some momentum. It's not as like the Lancia. The Lancia feels more sure of itself. It wants to turn more, so you have to actually grab it by the horns and do your stuff. One thing that I've noticed in this update is that the force feedback detail changed. I'm not sure how about the overall force feedback quality, because Full Force, and I'm using Full Force in the Podium DD right here. In the future, the CSL was actually going to get some Full Force. It does feel that there is more detail, but it's detail in between whatever was available already in the force feedback of the game. That means if you don't like whatever the wheelbase you have, the Logitech or the Fanatec stuff, that will have the support for Full Force and True Force. If you don't like the force feedback back then, it's highly unlikely that you're going to like it now. You'll feel it that there's more details on the road. It doesn't feel that it's going to change significantly the way how the force feedback works. You know, the force feedback curves for G's, sustaining G's and all of that stuff. For me, I like it more. It's not like, oh, it's massive night and day, it's a game changer, if you know what I mean. I like it more because it makes it fuller. I suppose it is the same with Full Force as well. Here with the Podium DD, and likely it'll be the same with the Close Sport DD, it's feeling more active, it's feeling that is more detailed. Once again, if you don't like it before, I'm not sure if you're going to like it now, but if you have these wheelbases, you know, the update is free. Try it out. This next car, you know, the 306 Maxi is just bonkers. And it really exemplifies a bit of the mentality back in the 90s, and also a bit of the things that Supernova is trying to build into this game, because this is such a silly car, all things considered. This thing has 300 horses at 9,600 RPM. That's a lot to push a car, you know? So this is more kind of a bike engine, even though it's a 4-cylinder, you know, than it is a regular engine. It feels like, you know, a Type R on steroids or whatever. And even those don't rev that high. I used to have a Corolla T-Sport back in the day. And if you wanted to make any power out of it, you would have to go past 6,000. This is the same thing, but there's still some torque to be used. And this feels, I know Max Verstappen say, oh, front-wheel drive cars are like anti-driving. I don't agree. You really need to have a really cool chassis. And the 306 back in the day, in road cars, we're talking about like the T16s and the GTIs or whatever, when they were out. Man, those cars had really cool chassis to, you know, to be driven in. You also, of course, the Clios. In this car, it has exactly that. It has that lift-off oversteer or the braking oversteer as well. And then, of course, a lot of torque, all things considered. It's 280, I think. I think this is naturally aspirated. If not, man, that turbo is not doing much. It just goes. It's just so silly. Yeah, and this thing is just peppy and... Hey, I want a corner. I want a corner. Come on, I want a corner. And here I'd call it Turini, man. This car is just so good. But you have to be careful on the brakes, because you're just gonna lock the tires and you go in front and you kill yourself. This is such a small track. It's so easy to make a mistake and just hit the wall. Likely it's gonna happen next, if I'm not careful. Why? But the problem is that differential is more of how can I say it is there just to have a differential, because do you want a corner while throttling up? If you go, see the amount of understeer, if you press the throttle too much when you're steering, well, that differential really can't do anything about it, because it doesn't have a way to control the 280 newtons and the 300 horses of that this thing is able to actually deliver. And can become quite difficult of a car to control, you know? Oh yes, you always have to remember of the 306 handbrake turns, which I'm not giving any sort of credit here because I suck at it. Don't look at me to show them. Go online, really check out the vintage videos of this, or even not the vintage ones. A lot of people still use these kit cars. This used to be like a kit car as well, which is quite interesting. This was such a blast back in the day. My God. No, handbrake, save me. It's such a good car. Once again, I know that Max Verstappen say front-wheel driven cars are anti-driving. I don't agree at all. You need to have a good chassis. And the French back in the day knew how to make a car like this, you know? Those Clios, those Megans, those 306s, those 106s, even the 206, I would say that would be pretty okay if you got a good version of it. Namely the one with the 2-liter. Probably not as good as the 306, but it was quite decent. My God, such a cool car, man! There we go, 9,600 RPM. Just be careful of using it. You imagine this thing in the oh my God. Imagine this thing in snow, right? You have no way to grip it. You have really no throttle control, because this thing is like almost all or nothing. And that differential is just there to say hello. It's not there to do anything. It's like that person that comes in, says hello, leaves, and says my job here is done, and we say, but you haven't done anything. That's the differential. Oh, man. Now, one thing that I want to mention before we finish this this section is actually in terms of performance. I'm trying to speak while looking at this section. No. Is that I'm feeling something that the performance has improved. I'm using basically frame gen, but sticking the panel at 120 FPS, and oftentimes it just sticks there, and I still have some headroom. And I'm using scaling at 100. I probably could drop it just a little bit just to have a little more headroom, and it sticks at around the 120 mark. Feels fluid, doesn't feel that it has any sort of oh my god, oh yes, sort of lag or anything. Oh no, it just works. So I'm not sure if there was some sort of driver update or if they have done something in the game, because honestly I didn't see anything in a changelog that would say that we improved how the game works with in Unreal Engine 5. But in terms of quality, I was able to bump up the quality. I'm still recording and hitting basically 120 FPS. I know it's frame gen, but you get the smooth experience, and I'm liking that smooth experience. So this game maybe has done something, maybe it has not. On the previous version I said, previous video for a previous version I said, hey, try out the recommended settings in the driver. Play around with the RTX things or the frame gen things. They have like the models for the LSS. Have a look, and apparently something has changed, because this feels for me a little bit better. Oh my god, no, don't hit it. The car is too expensive. Cannot pay for it. Man, we're really lucky in sim racing. I'm able to drive one of the cars that I'd love to see as a kid. I was 12 years old when this car was out, and I'm able to drive it, you know, here at Monaco. I mean, we are really spoiled sometimes for choice, and this looks like really photorealistic. Unreal Engine, with all its faults, and it has a lot, I must say that it has likely the best representation of light. Better for me than Gran Turismo 7, I mean. And Gran Turismo does have a good representation of light. This one is just, it just feels like real life. Unfortunately, it has all of the issues with the FPS, but, you know, I digress. Man, this is so fun. It's like a bit of Toge. It is Toge by the end of the day. If we could have like an 86 rally car, man, I think these guys would definitely have it done. You know, you'd see everybody that does a lot of Toge coming to this game. Oh, I want to try the 86. Or even the Sylvia rally. There used to be like in Japan, Sylvias that did rally, you know, Evo 3s, and all of that stuff. And then add multiplayer, but multiplayer like concurrent, and we have a Toge game. This is so cool, man. Oh no! And on that bombshell, back to the studio. This is such a cool update. It's more of an iterative update. It's not like a big transformative update, but I enjoy it very much because the content that I have available right now, it is so fun to drive that 306. I thought that the Subaru would be the car that would say, yeah, I love it. No, it's a 306, definitely. That car speaks to my soul in a way I wasn't expecting. Very cool car. I got a little bit better performance. I'm not sure if they've done something in the back. Like I said, the changelog didn't say anything about performance increase. For me, it was a little better. I have more headroom. I'm using less, more DLSS scaling. That means closer to the resolution that I'm using. And I still have very good performance with no hiccups. And I even bumped the quality of the settings. So that is good. The force feedback, like I said, it will depend. Full force makes it better for me. There's more indication like of little pebbles and what the road is doing and the front of the tires are doing, but it doesn't fundamentally change of what the force feedback is telling you when you are under load. It's more in between the settings of load of the tires and something else. But for me, it's a good update. Check it out. I think you're gonna like it. Let me know in the comments what you think of it.